I don't think there's any single panacea to the crisis of democracy, to the democratic deficit we have in this country, but I think there are a few things that would dramatically enhance the viability and confidence of the political system. One is a fair voting system. Another one is an elected upper house. And the third is a radical devolution of power to regional parliaments. I think there is a huge democratic deficit. I think millions of people in this country are disenfranchised. I think the only way we can revive the process is by a very radical overhaul of the democratic system, not with one or two reforms, but a whole multiplicity, a diversity, a plurality of reforms, none of which will individually revive public confidence, but collectively perhaps can begin that process. The problem is that the major parties, in particular the big two, Labour and Conservative, have a vested interest in the current system. I think we need to challenge that, and the only way we can challenge it is by a broad-based popular movement, like the movement against the poll tax. I think at the end of the day, if sufficient numbers of people organise and protest, then I think at the end of the day the system will have to give way. If the Chartists and suffragettes taught us anything, it's that when the people organise, when they're united about wanting change and demanding change, then eventually the system has to give in. Democracy ought to be, yes, elections, but also an ongoing, constant process of negotiation and consultation between those we put into Parliament and those of us who elect them. It is about participation. There is an important role for representatives, but there's also an important role for popular citizen participation, and whether that be by referendums, citizens' assemblies, consultative and deliberative forums, recall of MPs who constituents are fed up with. These are all different ways of empowering ordinary people to have a greater say and involvement in the political process. And I think if people feel that they've got an investment and, if you like, a say over the process, then I think we will find a lot more people feel confident about politics and join in. I think there are very strong, powerful arguments in favour of a new Bill of Rights. We already have the Human Rights Act, which was a very important historic advancement of the rights and responsibilities of the people of this country, a very important check and balance against the power of the state over us. I wouldn't be in favour of a Bill of Rights if it sought to undermine or corrode the Human Rights Act, but if it was an attempt to extend and develop those principles into new areas to give people even greater rights and responsibilities, then that would be a great advance. The one thing I would say is that it's really important that if we have a Bill of Rights, that it is developed by a process of consultation and negotiation with all the people of this country, not just a conflab between the politicians in the House of Commons. It's a great opportunity for a big national debate involving broad cross-sections of the population to decide collectively what this Bill of Rights should be. I think if it's a process by which people are involved in deciding the content of the Bill of Rights, then that will ensure much greater public confidence and enthusiasm.